The pictures tell the story. This life had many shades. I'd wake up every morning and before I'd start each day, I'd take a drag from last night's cigarette that smoldered in its tray. Down a little something, then be on my way.
You gonna say something?
No, I was just laughing at him because, like, as soon as it came off, he's got like music blaring in the background. And I was like, "Oh my god, we can't do a professional show to save our lives." Anyway,
and here we are.
Here we are.
Professional show.
So, guys, everybody, welcome back to the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. This will be our last. Well, let me put it differently. It will be my last Thursday show for the next semester. So we're either going to find a new night, or I won't be here. And you know what? That might be great to all you guys. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I may hear back later. It was like, hey, look, everybody voted. They said no, Thursdays are the great nights. And I'm like, cool, whatever. I don't even care. You know, I started this thing. Me and David did back almost. We're going on the 4th year, aren't we?
I think so. Because we started in 2020, so
yeah, soon
like 3 or something.
3.5 years. Yeah. So anyway, before we get started with anything, I just want to give a quick shout out to Stable Reserve off of it's 412 Main Street in Franklin, Tennessee. Make a quick short story here. So yesterday, I was in a town hall that turned into a 6-hour freaking DEI conference of some sort, just so we get to our bonuses at the very end, which was great. I love that part, but the DEI nonsense was ridiculous. So anyway, it was only scheduled for 2 hours, and then when they stopped to take an intermission, I was like, to hell with this, dude. I'm going someplace I have to go pick up some books and stuff. By the way, to catch you guys up on that, I did get my books. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, so I'll go pick them up tomorrow from a different office. But anyway, so I went downtown downtown Franklin. I was just sitting there, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get some coffee. So I'm just gonna go to the Starbucks. So I was just walking with my phone, listening to the DEI conference that was supposed to be about our performance and all this nonsense as a university. And anyhow, long story short with it, I think I said that already, but it's still a long story short. Next door to Starbucks is Stable Reserve. Like I said, 412 Main Street right there in Franklin. And I had a couple tries of their bottles from both of them. One from the bourbon I have both of them. This right here is this is just a straight bourbon whiskey, 94 proof. The other one's the Century Series. And this one is a 96 proof. But anyway, nice. Really good. They are sourced from Indiana. They are MGP product. I assume they're over 4 years. They both taste like they're much older than anything young. It would only make sense to have source whiskey that was over or bourbon over 4 years. I know that they can allege that they're bourbon, but anybody can be a straight bourbon whiskey, but not everybody can be a bourbon. You see what I'm saying? So there's that. Great place, great atmosphere, great staff. Author, he's one of the main people there. I guess barback or whatever you want to call him. He's a server of whiskey. Super great guy, kick-ass mustache. And then some other dude that owns the place. So anyway, guys, y'all get a chance to go try them out. It's really, really good. It's right downtown on Franklin.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
And I do like it. So if you guys need me to get any shampoo out to you guys, some dog shampoo, just let me know. Send some that way. Anyway, everybody else, shampoo? Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
DJ, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Good evening, gentlemen. How's everything?
Doing well, brother.
Doing well. All right.
This far.
All right.
Almost Friday.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sporting a purple shirt. What do you think?
It plays. Right, it goes with your headphones because they're all colorful and stuff.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's kind of a lavender color to me.
Yeah, and so if the lights on the headphones change, I'm not changing my shirt.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to deal with the you know. It's either going to match or not.
Exactly.
It's all good.
What's everyone drinking tonight? Jody, I'm assuming you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm trying the first one I'm having right now is it's right here, this Glencairn, but I'm having the straight bourbon whiskey, the 94 proof, and I've already had, not tonight, but I've already had the Century series. It's freaking solid.
Nice. What do those go for, by the way?
I have no idea. I just gave him my card and said, "Can you bring me back 2 bottles?"
Okay, that's helpful. That's real helpful.
Yeah. I want to go shopping with you, Jody.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah, I'll just buy it or whatever. It doesn't really matter what it costs.
No, it's not going to bounce. I'm not worried about it. By the way, it's my son's birthday today. He's 17.
Woot, woot.
Yes,
Cheers.
sir.
Happy birthday.
He's out doing some shenanigans with his friends right now, but just don't get in trouble. That's all it is, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
A 17-year-old on his birthday out and about with his friends.
Shut up, DJ.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got some anxiety about this. That's probably warranted, if I'm being honest.
That's right.
Anyway, so everybody else, what is everybody else drinking?
Yeah. I'm drinking kind of in homage to a little trip I took, the old granddad.
You should have went last because that would have been a good setup for your trip.
You know, I should have. And we'll circle back to it. We'll talk about the trip.
All right, so we'll back up.
We're going in the way back.
Gino, what do you have?
Gino's taking it easy this evening. Little Redwood Empire, the Emerald Giant. It's their rye. It's a 90 proof rye. If you haven't tried this and you're really looking into ryes, this is a great rye to do. It is very nice. It is.
I think it's a great rye if you're. I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you're shy about trying ryes,
exactly.
Ryes and their blended rye,
gateway rye
are a great introduction. But sorry,
go
ahead.
This one, I would say, it's kind of like a nice gateway rye. It's got a lot of caramel flavor to it. The rye spice is right up front, so it lets you know it's a rye. Nice. But it's not an overpowering rye in that sense. It's got some caramel flavor to it, got a little bit of tobacco flavor on the back end. There's vanilla in it. I mean, it is very, very good, well put together rye. Comes in at about 90 proof. Excellent stuff. Nice. And price point, you can't beat the price point. It's in the mid 30s. I mean, you can't beat that.
Heck no, it's great.
What about you, DJ?
Yeah, I didn't bring the bottle up with me, but I got a store pick Angel's Envy that my wife picked up when she made a trip up to Louisville, and I found that recent Angel Envy that's being out there is pretty good stuff. It's a good sipper, and I'm just.
Is that the single barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I. We'll get to that, but yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's cast finished in I think in a sherry barrel. Mellows it right out, sweetens it up a little bit. Not a bad Thursday night sipper.
Nice.
Right.
Wow, over there in England. First of all,
welcome, sir.
Yeah, welcome. But tell me about that picture you took today, because I didn't even know what that meant. Just empty shelves.
Basically, it was empty shelves, but the label on the shelves was 100 calories or less. And there was, I was in the supermarket, and it was just empty shelves, and it said 100 calories or less. And the only thing hanging on the shelves was fried pig skins. And I thought, definitely fucking not.
Pig skins and a rock made of lettuce.
Everything else was fucking empty, dude. And it was like, damn. I get how the empty shelves are 100 calories or less, but the pig skins, definitely not. No. Shit, no.
What's up, John?
I thought it was funny as hell. So.
No. I can see that little sign, but yeah.
That is hilarious. So what are you drinking there tonight, Mal, all the way over in England? It looked like Jack Daniels, to be honest with you.
Unfortunately, it is, dude. I have just come off a cigar hoof that I've been on for the last 5.5 hours. And I was drinking Blanton's Gold and Old Forester 1910 and a couple of beers. And I had a couple of cigars, and I was just about to go to bed. And I thought, you know what it is? I don't have to be up early in the morning, so I'm going to jump on with the guys. And the only bottle that I had in the house, I'm in the house, I'm not in the bar. The only bottle I had in the house was Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. So I thought, fuck it, I'll pour myself a quick Jack Daniel's and jump on and say hi. That's literally what I do.
There you go.
I'm glad you did. It's always good to see you.
Glad you did. Well, real quick. So even though you kind of told us, but we did rewind that in our minds. What are you drinking, Dave? And then go straight into your story.
Sure. All right. So now drinking the Old Granddad bonded. So it's the 100 proof.
Nice.
Great, easy sipper. But that's an homage to my grandfather, as those of you in the VIP and just friends of the, what we do here know. This past weekend, I flew up to Pittsburgh, and my grandfather passed away last year. I basically inherited his car and his firearms.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thanks, man. But he lived a good long life.
Yeah, he did.
Full of loud stories.
He
really was. I'm not kidding at all. I've told some of those stories in the after show. But anyway, so they decided it was like how this, because my stepson is about of age to start driving, and awfully convenient that they're we can get him a vehicle now. So it's a huge boon to my family. But so I drive from Pittsburgh back home to Murfreesboro. It's about 10-ish, 11-hour trip. But I was like, well, I might as well enjoy myself on the way. And I'm going to see if I can find some distilleries that can stop by and pick up some bottles, see what's going on. Don't want to spend too long because it's all day on the road anyway. So that's not fun. So the first stop I actually made, and you guys have talked to Rob about this plenty, and Rob and I are both fans of Liberty Pole. So I went to their distillery. They happened to have just moved to a new location that was 25 minutes back the way I came. And I'm like, I'm just getting on the road. I'm starting out later than I wanted to. I don't want to double back. I got to make better time than this, or I'm never going to get home. So I ended up skipping that one, but I did get to look in. Inside, there was a cool little bar, very colonial era kind of vibe. There was the picture of, I guess it was George Washington hung upside down or something like that. And I'm sure there's some kind of historical significance to that. I don't know, but I thought it was cool.
Well, that's where the Whiskey Rebellion.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So they're not. I mean,
president during the rebellion. Yep.
This is specific reference. They
matter of fact, he was the last
that
president to go to the field.
Yeah. Lead personally
against the Whiskey Rebellion. Yeah.
Yep. We were tarring and feathering people, man. Tax collectors. Great times.
Oh, good old days, man. Sorry, carry on.
Back in the day,
you guys out of the country.
Let's not go there, David. Carry on.
We're not. I was like, okay, all right. Let's keep it going. My next stop was in Columbus, Ohio. I stopped at Middle West Distillery, and this is almost like a TripAdvisor kind of thing. They have a very small room where you can purchase bottles and things like that. I mean, a very small room. It's like a shop basically, and half a shop, because it's mostly a restaurant and some other things. And the distillery was there, but they weren't really leaning real hard into, we make whiskey here, you should come check it out and enjoy yourself like you would at some of these more major distilleries. And so they had these little selection. The guy let me do some tastings and stuff like that. And I tried a couple of them, and I tried their weeder, which was decent, but wasn't super wowing me. But then I ended up picking up, and Gino, you'll appreciate this. It was the ported pumpernickel rye, and damn if it didn't taste so much just biting into a piece of pumpernickel bread. And I was like, this is it. This is for me. This is the kind of rye that I really love. Balanced, nice, not hard at all on the front. It doesn't give you the rye punch that you get from a lot of ryes. And if you like that, that's great, but a lot of people don't. Really good bottle. I was excited. I was spending above my pay grade a little bit, but picked it up and it was on my way because there was really nothing else to do or see in there. Contrast that way further down the line. I make it to Louisville, and you guys.
It's never above your pay grade when you're on vacation, dude.
And that's why I said, I'm going for broke here. I'm gonna treat myself.
Fuck it.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go for broke.
Hey, you were driving a free car filled with weapons.
I was just thinking.
What's the
guns?
What's the downside? Spend $100.
Get a couple of. I'm not going to say that. Get murdered, but
shotgun. Yeah. That antique shotgun you got with the pump on it.
I think it's a 22. If I'm being honest, because the aperture of the barrel. And what I need to do, honestly, we'll talk offline afterwards. I need to bring those to you so you can check them out and how I need to take care of them. One of them actually is two of them are of particular interest to me. One is the Japanese rifle that my grandfather brought back from the war. The other is my great grandfather's service revolver. He was a policeman, And so I've got this. It's a little 22 revolver, and it's over 100 years old. Like I don't know. You feel the history of my family there or whatever.
Think of all the rabbits and the birds and the mice and the squirrels and stuff that he probably shot with that when he got bored.
You know, I mean, I hear the humor, but it makes me think too. At the same time, we're getting sidetracked.
Back in those days, you could do
think about what he shot when he wasn't bored. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, but I was saying, but that was a standard service revolver. It was a 22.
That was
and in modern times, we think of something that caliber, fired from like a little snub-nosed revolver as like not really big on stopping power. Like this isn't really going to be a super effective weapon, but like that was the standard back then. Like it just, I don't know. You see it, you feel kind of the age of everything.
Yeah, and then of course the criminals started carrying 38s, and so
and now here we are.
So the police officers had to get at least the same caliber, and you take it from there.
With flak jackets and armor piercing rounds and all that stuff. All right, Jennifer, she's got decorating for fall, drinking a pumpkin spice coffee, listening to you guys. Pretty perfect Thursday night. Yeah, it sounds like a good Thursday night. It's a little early for the fall stuff, but that's cool. It's never too early for Halloween stuff.
It is too early for the pumpkin spice, though.
I was going to say it's still summer here, even though it's nothing but absolutely pissed down with rain. So,
how does one decorate for fall? Well, we'll get into that later. Put out fall decor around the house. Okay, they're going to go back and forth. I want to continue the story. Go to Louisville, and I have to go back. That's really
carry on, David. Carry on, please.
That's the short version. Is that I have to go back because I got to go and stop in Angel's Envy with my one. Because I got there around 5. Everything else was closing at the time, so that's the one I definitely wanted to check out because I know like their rum cast finished. Like I really am into that, but I also wanted to see what was distillery only. And I picked up this. I think what you're drinking tonight is a distillery only single barrel that I was very excited to get my hands on. But they also had a tasting room, but you had to you had to schedule that. They have the tours. You have to schedule that, and then they had the fill your own bottle kind of thing, and it's all behind these big glass doors and windows and that, and you could watch as they're pumping the juice basically and filling up bottles and stuff like that. I was like, this is really cool. I want to get in on this, but it's like, you have to sign up for everything. It's hours and hours. But like group trip sometime, like I'd be down for that. And we talked about like Rabbit Hole and Old Forester and a million others are kind of like right around that area. Like it seems like a good time.
I already told you we can do it. I'll do a trip with you anytime. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it would have been cool to have.
It just can't be on Tuesday, Thursday.
Right.
I would love to, and I am trying to plan the Bourbon Trail for my 50th.
Oh, great!
That'd be awesome. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, could we turn 50 the same year?
Within a month of each other, dude. Yeah.
I know. We ought to do that together.
Yeah, we need to. We need to sort some shit out.
I'll get the rooms.
Spectacular. I'm absolute # family room. I'm good with that. Big spoon, little spoon. I don't give a shit, man.
So the 50-year-olds need to take the elder statesman to chaperone y'all's. Okay,
that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I'm totally down with
Gino needs to fly in. Yeah, we can make this happen, guys.
Anyway. I'm down with all that shit. So, David, will you finish your story? Carry on, man.
Wait, I mean, and that's it for distilleries, really. Like, otherwise, the trip home was great. I did get caught in really bad traffic about an hour south of Louisville that added an extra hour to my trip because I went down to one lane, sucked ass. I got stuck on the phone, and it was really that was unpleasant. But everything else was a breeze. It's a good trip overall. It's a good haul. Got a couple of bottles that I won't get anywhere else. And
sounds good, man.
I got a loaded safe that fell in the lake like yours did. So
beautiful countryside too.
Yeah, it really was. It was a nice, especially through Ohio, cutting over from Columbus and that. Like it was just really nice country.
Stop in and see Jim Jordan.
I did.
Guys, I'm going to drop off and rejoin in a minute.
All right, man.
All right.
I don't return his calls, not the other way around.
Did you come through Morgantown?
No, he wouldn't come anywhere near God's country.
I mean,
you
I've gone up through that way.
I
I've always gone to Deep Creek.
Pennsylvania, then down.
Yeah, I went
Everything else
over
is
rather
like,
than down.
no.
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, I like going across Kentucky and then through Maryland, West Virginia,
I've
and then
been
the
that way,
backside of Pennsylvania. They're just gorgeous up there.
Yeah, it is
Because
really nice.
Morgantown's is the halfway point between Nashville and Boston.
Oh, okay.
So when I drive home, I always lay over in Morgantown, right on the river there.
Nice.
It was a good easy trip. Otherwise, except for that one traffic snarl, like I was like, this is not hard at all. This is a nice day. I'm listening to tunes, cruising, like it's good stuff. Anyway,
so here's
that's
our
my story.
Yeah, so here's the topic for tonight. First of all, I'm glad you made it back safely. Like I said,
Thank
if
you,
you'd let me know, I'd have bought a ticket and I just rode back with
you were dealing with like 8 different things. I didn't
of course,
even think to ask.
but you still should ask. I'm always looking for a reason. I mean, as I started the show with,
Facts.
So facts. Hashtag
Next
facts.
time.
Anyhow, so Chuck, the old Godfather himself, the OG. He hadn't been on here quite a bit recently, but he still gives us great ideas. And so he had an idea that he wanted to talk about tonight. He may join. He may surprise us, is what he said. But one of the things he brought up was something that I thought was pretty fascinating to talk about that David brought to my attention again as well. And that is the store picks oversaturating the market of anything that might come directly from the distillery? And what I mean by that is like we were just talking about the single barrel from Angel's Envy that you picked up that was unique to there. But can you imagine if you walked into Tarek's place down here, Elixir or something they had? First of all, he has a whole shelving system of all the store picks that he has, right? Now, his place has got so much booze in it that the shelving looks small compared to it, but I like how it's all organized there. And then he has barrels sitting there where people drink and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. But my point, and hopefully he's listening, because that's the nicest things I've ever said about him. We have a love-hate relationship, mostly hate, but that's it.
He loves your money.
Yeah, he absolutely loves my money. But anyway, I wouldn't even say him so much or his store, but are there the store picks that are oversaturating the market? I
think, if I could lead off with this, I do find myself, there's a couple of thoughts that I had before we started here, that one, a lot of times, hey man, good stuff.
Cheers.
David,
was really nice.
David, I had to in memory of your past.
I appreciate that, sir. You're a good man.
I had to dive down to the bar to get that just in honor of.
Why I'm touched by that. He ran all the way out there to get that.
There you go, ching, dude.
It's not even. He probably didn't even have to go, but maybe 5 feet out the back door.
It's an 85-foot garden, dude, but it's outside anyway.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, right.
It was.
It's 25 past 1, and it's 25 past 1 in the morning, so I had to run out my garden to get that. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I appreciate the thought.
And it's raining too. And it's raining, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! In the rain
for the 114.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good bottle too.
But anyway, you're getting ready to say, David.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. So we're talking about like store picks and group picks and things like that, of like low to mid range. Like you can go in pretty much any liquor store and you're gonna find some kind of store pick. Right? There's maybe a few that are like real kind of busted looking. You may not see that. Almost any liquor store you're going into, you're gonna see like usually a selection of store picks or something like that, and it starts to feel like a gimmick, especially if you're not. So like. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Say they had a store pick of this old granddad, right? Probably wouldn't do that. But let's say they did. I would really have to have a bottle of the regular stuff, if I'm being honest with you guys, and compare it side by side to be like, ooh, this one's really that much better. Like, I wouldn't know. I would say I like it or I don't like it on its own merits. But do I really know how much value is being added by it being a store pick of this thing? It's got a fun sticker on the back.
I think that you find
sometimes maybe, but like a lot of times I bet not.
But I think sometimes some stores and definitely some barrel people that put together teams to pick barrels and stuff like that, very much like Tarek's place, like I was saying, I mean, you're talking about some people who know a lot about bourbon that are picking them, like Thomas, Christian, Jay's been involved. You're talking about some people that know a lot about
I
bourbon,
think
and like
Godfather has done that a few times in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I have two down at Bobby's place. I helped him with a Woodford pick. It was a double oak pick that they had, and so I mean, I get it, I understand it. It doesn't quite. They're not always like you think either. Like you, it's just not like you got like 400 barrels there and you get to pick one, and you go and try them all. That's not how it works. They'll have a lot of times you may only have 3 barrels there, and they're like you get to pick one of these 3, right? And so, or like the way Woodford does it is you don't even get to stand beside the barrels. They bring the bottles out to you from each one of those barrels, and then you get to select which bottle you like from those barrels. So, but I know that there is a markup, that's associated with the barrel picks, and there are some people who really know what they're doing, right, with the barrel picks. But I couldn't say that's true with every store. Like here in Tennessee, I don't know how to say this the right way. So I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of Patels that own liquor stores in Tennessee. All right. And I'm willing to bet that even DJ would know this as well. Tarek's the only one that actually picks his barrels that I'm familiar with. That's not true. Melrose does that too. Melrose has, they're owned by a Patel, and he also picks them and he drinks. And both of those pick great barrels, but the other ones, it's kind of like they don't drink, so they're just blindly picking those.
Bingo.
And so when you have those type of things, I think that does take away from the market, in my opinion, and does oversaturate it, and does take away or makes the novelty of it kind of shameful in a way. It's not real at that point.
Yeah. Something that we say quite often on this show, or we used to say quite often on this show, and I'm not on this show quite as often as I used to be, is that taste is subjective.
Did you say tits are subjective?
Taste.
You know, some of us we hear what we want to hear.
Well, I mean, exactly. Taste is subjective. So,
I mean,
yeah. Well, both statements are absolutely true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But taste is subjective.
And God, it still sounds like you say tits are subjective.
Yeah, and they are.
Yeah.
I agree, they are.
Let me read Baker's comments here real quick. Sometimes short picks is the only way to get some of these bottles. You need to line up for them. That's true. A lot of times.
One of the reasons I don't come on this call very fucking often now.
You know what I
Mal, I love you. You know that.
I love you too as well, but you're still a fucking prick.
One of the things
you understood that. I know that. But taste is subjective, and people get different nuances, and people get different flavors from the same barrel, bourbon, bottle, glass. It doesn't matter.
But,
so
yeah, I know
what somebody will say, that is a fantastic bourbon. The next man will say, it's all right.
But I know what Jody was talking about too with the stores that, yeah, the owners don't drink, but they got picks. How do they select that?
Well, one of the things
the two places that I frequently get my store picks from is exactly like that. One, yeah, the owner does make those selections. Mm-hmm. The other one, the owner doesn't drink. He hasn't drank in years.
Yeah.
So
what I found out was kind of curious, because I always thought that if a store is going to have their own barrel and their own store pick, right, they send a tasting team to the distillery to pick it. And what I found out a couple of years ago was a lot of times the distillery sends the owner of the liquor store samples, right?
Yeah.
And so, so we don't know how that barrel is picked, whether it's the employees or they just flip a coin, or
exactly.
But how much of the samples are actually shipped to the stores to pick, right? So like when I go to Massachusetts, right? Well, there's a store pick up Blanton's. Well, how'd you pick that, right? Well, the distillery sent us 7 samples and we just picked,
Well,
I mean,
that's the whole point. It's like people like Jay, people like Jody, who are involved in these picks. People who know their bourbon, people who can pick out flavors, people who can pick out tastes, and all the rest of it. People who are involved in that, whose palate you can trust. People who, well, apart from Jody's because he doesn't like Jack Daniels, but people who's I'm joking, dude. People who like, guys who have a decent palate, as opposed to people who, as you said rightly, do not drink. People who are randomly picked, like flip a coin or roll a dice. If you get a 3, you get to be on the panel.
Yeah, it's George the turn to pick this time.
I love gin. I'll be on that panel. Fuck that. That's not good. It's got to be done properly.
Well, but that's sort of the thing of it is that the end result. I mean, who can really tell the difference? You have a select few people, like some of the folks you had mentioned, who have a very refined palate and can pick out different tastes. So this one's better than this one for XYZ reason, at least to you. But everyone else are like, well, it's a store pick, so we're going to slap that on the label, and it's a store pick, and it doesn't matter that I don't drink at all because I want to say it's a store pick, and they're going to sell out.
10%.
If we
does it make?
If we were to be offered a pick for the Whiskey Rebellion,
business, man, we'll clean up.
think about this. If we were offered a pick amongst the people on this call right now, would we all agree?
No, our palates would.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. But we do have agreement in what's good and what's bad. Correct?
No, we don't, because you like Jack Daniels.
I grew up on Jack Daniels. It's not my favorite. It's not my top 10. It's not my top 50.
Okay.
We've already established this.
Available.
Right? Readily available. Absolutely.
You got to come on more often. So, we get more viewers when there's a British because you can talk about your fucking big toe and people will find it fascinating because you have the accent.
You want to see the size of my fucking toe, dude? Anyway, regardless. But if we were to be offered our pick. Pick a window. You're leaving. Anyway, if we were to be offered our pick. Right, if we would all taste it, would we agree? I don't think so.
Well, no,
I think some of us may. I don't know if we would get a universal.
We would come
some of us may.
Probably none of us would say it's bad if there's kind of a consensus.
Yeah, exactly.
Like other things better.
Yeah, like
we would come to something. We would come to something between, I think, 60 and 80% of spot on.
Real quick, just to give an update.
If it was all of us
on the stable reserve. I'm having the Century right now, the 96 proof. It's got more fruit up front flavor to it. I guess that's cool, and it kind of goes with our conversation. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
This right here, which is the just the reserve 94 proof.
Reserve. Yeah,
which is probably more readily available. Freaking solid. Like it's a solid punch. But this one right here, it's good, but I think I'm gonna have to kind of work into it.
Jody, I think I might have missed that. What is that, dude?
Oh, so you missed that part of the story. You have to go back and rewind the story. But
yeah, please do.
He found a spot in Franklin. He was dipping out on a work call. And
I wasn't dipping out. It was in my ear the whole time.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He was making good use of his time. Can I say it that way?
Yeah.
So he was multitasking, and he was on a work call, and he ended up stopping in like a tasting room for this distillery.
That's not the answer to the question. The question was, what the fuck are you drinking, dude?
I just told you, stable reserve.
He was leading to that, but he was
stable.
Down the barn
Stable.
to get there.
Gotcha.
Stable. Right. Okay. Cool.
Stable.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to read some comments here, and then we'll keep going. So Jennifer said she's laughing. Says the digs on Jody are some of the best parts of the show. I agree with that wholeheartedly, of course. Love how we can laugh about it.
Jennifer, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, we've not begun. And then Jack Frost says, "Hey, he doesn't laugh at the mall. Trust me." He said Breckenridge sends out 4 200 milliliter bottles.
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah. And I'm trying to catch up. But the professionals actually pick for the masses. Why not have a panel of customers or club picks? They do have
Some do
those
that.
club picks and that. And then David showed up. Said, sorry, he's late. He's
Dave.
moving a refrigerator for his sweet lady. Well, always happy to have you, David.
Love the vacation pictures, Dave. Those are great pictures.
You know, one of the other things about these barrel picks or store picks or whatever is the distillery itself. Like if I was on the panel to do a Maker's Mark, right? That experience is totally different than going to a distillery and then going to the rick house and then tasting, 4 barrels or 3 barrels, because you're obviously in Maker's Mark, you're making a theoretical barrel while you're in a lab and you're not in a rick house, you're not in a barrel tasting room or anything else. And so when a store is actually going to buy something like that, or the whole experience about going to the distillery and picking a barrel at the distillery is vastly different than sitting in a store and then sampling the ones that the distillery sends down for you to tip, and I think that's, for me anyway, I really enjoy the experience regardless of what the end product might even end up being. I really like the experience.
I know the British Bourbon Society done a similar thing with Maker's Mark, and they actually were invited out to Maker's Mark to do that. And the pick that we got was unfucking believable. It was really, really awesome. And the only other experience that I believe that the society has had was with Wilderness Trail. And the guys were invited out to the Wilderness Trail Distillery, and they've done a very, very similar thing. And they got the Settlers Rye.
Oh yeah.
We got a pick for the Settlers Rye. My fucking God! I bought 3 bottles of that, and I've still got one left, and I am afraid to open the last bottle that I bought because it evaporated. It evaporated in the glass. It was just fucking gone. I was just gone. That was incredible. So Wilderness Trail do a very, very similar thing to Maker's Mark.
Speaking of we were talking about Patel's earlier. So Melrose just has another barrel picking coming up, and they're doing. You can sign up for it. So it's the Cartman's Toasted Rye is here. So I guess that they've already picked it, but they have the document on it. Kind of tells the pickup is going to be on the 18th, which is tomorrow. You can Venmo. I could do that right now. They have not Kenny, but the fat one off of South Park.
Cartman, yeah.
Hence the name Cartman. I get it.
Yeah.
There you go. Hello. Mic drop. Hello.
I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.
Yeah,
that's right.
God damn it.
But no, I do find it interesting. I like, so the way I kind of heard about, I did not hear about this. Let me put that differently. But I had hopes that I'd walk down there because someone I was talking with told me that Leaper's Fork is building a tasting room in downtown Franklin. And I was like, oh my God, that'd be awesome.
That'd be
right?
expensive. He thinks awesome, and I think expensive because everything in downtown Franklin is super high price. Leaper's Fork is also not cheap.
No, that's the highest price in Tennessee. Leaper's Fork. It used to be Brentwood, but it's absolutely Leaper's Fork. I mean, that's where you can go see Kid Rock in his true White House. It's a mock of the White House, and it looks exactly like the White House. And he has a gold elevator and everything in there. It's crazy.
He's a humble man.
What's that? Humble? Is that what you said?
Yeah, humble and yeah.
And he doesn't have any Bud Light in there either, though.
No Bud Light.
No Bud Light.
We did at one point apparently, but then he,
washed it out with White Claw.
Dispatched it.
So I was having a drink with so Jordan. You know who Jordan is, right, David? You know who he is. He's been over here before. It's he's still my son, but he was my previous son, stepson.
Okay, yeah, all right.
he was over here for like the fight, the Mayweather and McGregor fight, and he was here for the.
That was a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah, he was here for the USC championship game against Penn State, all that. So
Okay.
Anyway,
right. Tracking.
He was like, "Hey, let's get a drink." So we go down to one of my favorite watering holes in the crossings, which David already knows, which is Boom Boss, right? And he says he's going to have one of those. It's like a White Claw, but it's not the White Claw; it's the other one. He's doing it because of celiac.
Like a twisted tea or something.
No, it wasn't twisted tea. But either way, I was like, dude, if you get that, I swear to Christ, I am going to take a picture of you, and that's going to be my profile picture on Grindr. Like it couldn't have been more gay. Yeah, like gay, like assless chaps gay. So like that kind of gay, not like the bad guy.
There's a lot of questions coming.
He said what it is.
Carry on.
It's a truly.
Truly, that is right. It was a truly. Thank you.
Oh.
See, John knows what those are.
Truly scrumptious.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Four Locos. Shit. Yeah. You want to talk about like a hangover in a can? Like,
I don't know what a Four Locos is.
it's
okay. You don't need
it's
to know.
really bad shit. And
Yeah, no.
I drank.
I mean, you guys
when I
know
was in
what
Vegas once.
But,
But,
I don't deviate.
it's like an energy drink that will also get you
It's
smashed.
a fad
Like,
with the kids.
it's like for a while, it got real popular for a while, and then like a bunch of kids got alcohol poisoning from it because, like you don't really realize the kind of danger you're putting yourself in until it's too late.
We have something over here called dragon soup.
Dragon soup.
Yeah, but soup spelled SOOP.
Mm.
Just fucking hell no.
Yeah,
It's still really popular,
yeah.
but it ain't fucking right.
Like you said, are you drinking a Four Loco or a Truly, Jack?
Well, you know what he's drinking.
He's gonna. I know. I just want to see what he says.
It doesn't matter as long as
Come on,
it's
I read
fucking
the
clear.
comments. That's what I'm doing.
As long as there's fucking clear rice in it, it doesn't matter.
Wendy says it's like dragon poop.
Yeah, yeah. It probably tastes and smells the same. I've never had it myself.
Truly passion for
He's having a passion for it.
All he needs is some tassels and a weekend getaway.
Yeah, I would rather shit in my hand and
You know
clap
what,
than drink
Jack,
anything like that.
I support you. It's all good.
While watching the Barbie movie.
Oh,
I heard something interesting about that.
I don't know,
movie,
but
but it
Margot
would get
Robbie's in that
political
movie.
really fast, so I'm gonna let that go. Oh, and a midget.
There you
There
go.
you go. And it brings him right
Oh, yeah.
back. There it is.
It's like we say, shit's gone south.
Yeah, speaking of the quality of this conversation,
and people,
we made it.
wow, what the fuck was that?
You got to do a bloopers reel against.
That was-
you have to use this episode between that and him calling you a fucking asshole or whatever earlier. That was
He called me a prick.
prick, a fucking prick. That's what it was.
Said you understood that, and I said, yeah, of course I
Yeah.
did, because you enunciated.
It's a midget, yeah.
Oh,
You're gonna present a
no,
moist
they said the
midget?
A
word.
moist midget.
Anyway,
That's not-
let's
Jody,
Let's
did you remember to
fucking
close all
carry
your
on.
tabs?
What's that?
Did you remember to close all your tabs?
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's not in my browser history.
Oh, okay.
No, don't.
This
don't.
is just getting worse. I don't even know if I want to read this one. Okay.
this feels like the after show.
That's why. Yeah, we've started the after show, guys. This is what it looks like. No. Actually, it's usually much more racy than this. But,
I'm wondering how further this can deteriorate in the next 16 minutes.
That was, it's funny. I was
Don't
looking at
challenge
you
something
said that
else.
like it's a
DJ,
challenge.
Don't challenge them. No.
Yeah. Don't throw that gauntlet down.
Wendy says, "Where's the tracks we derailed from?" Well, thank you actually for
What
getting us back on track. I'm trying to pivot, guys. We were talking
No,
about
this is when I shut the fuck up.
We're talking about store picks and whether or not it's kind of overrated as a concept, where people can really appreciate the difference.
We are starting to see a lot more store picks in the UK. Over the last 6 to 8 months, I've seen quite a lot of store picks, and usually US store picks that I'm seeing over here, which to me is weird.
Are some more popular
Um,
than others?
Yeah.
Of the American.
Yeah, but specific to bars in London and southern, nothing like you guys would get.
Let me ask you real quick. So,
Mhm.
because if they're not doing it, they're missing out on an opportunity. But do they like put a big red, white, and blue American flag on it?
No, a little gold sticker.
They're
If
missing out.
if they'd done that, they'd end up fucking binning it. It's just a little gold sticker, and it sells like wildfire. Yeah, like ooh, and I don't get it because it's not right over here because it's not true. It's not a true store pick if it's over here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's,
Somebody
yeah,
else's
it's
store pick they just exported.
yeah,
It's
it just
exported
creates
store
the
pick, yeah.
the veneer of being a store pick, which kind of
Or
It's-
the veneer, of
the
being in the
veneer.
great, or it's a veneer of being in the great United States of America.
is that
What
a
David-
selling point over there?
What David said. But yes, it is. Yeah.
I would imagine it would be, and I think that's why you're starting to see more and more of them.
Yeah.
So I've only ever bought 2 picks over here, and both of them have been Gordon and McPhail, which are an importer.
That's probably true what Wendy said.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was about to. Yeah, that's a great question, Wendy. By the way, do you think the picks are mid-level so that it's accessible to the masses? I think it absolutely
betcha.
is. Because if
I
I
think
can
it's-
a store
That's why
pick
they're
I
so
think it's
cool.
50 to
Quite
60
possible.
bucks, I feel a little special, right? Like that's how they get you.
Yep.
You know.
Ooh,
Yeah.
but not only that, it's kind of like
I found
Pokemon cards.
today.
People are trading them too, because like
Yeah.
if
Ooh,
I
I
have
got the
one
store
from
pick
a
of the-
place here and you have one from there, that'd be
Yeah.
worth the trade, right? So I mean,
The two picks that I've had over here have been importer picks. It's like Gordon and McPhail. Gordon and McPhail are importers, and those are the ones that I've bought. But I've never bought like shop picks or anything like other than British Bourbon Society picks, which
see,
I know are genuine picks, if you like.
to follow up on what Wendy said, I don't think there's ever going to be a point to where they're going to try to push you away from the $100 plus bottles. I really don't. I think
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I think what it comes down to is allocation and allocated products. And I think what they're doing is making this novelty of something great and grand that you might have that could be available to almost everyone, right? It's readily available at your store, something to look forward to every, like I was just saying, I read the post from Melrose that they're, it's another thing coming out that's going to be out tomorrow, this, that, and whatever. And it gives you something to look forward to, still have that community at the liquor store, right? Because the liquor store is not the same as it was for my dad, where, like I'll never forget, we'd pull up in front of the liquor store and he'd go, "So I need you to go inside, give me a carton of cigarettes and a bottle or whatever," right? And they would sell it to me because that's the way it was, right? Because they could see him sitting in the truck. Yeah, he's sitting in the truck. Probably already been drinking, So and it's just,
Why do you think the kids get sent?
yeah, he didn't want to stumble in there and potentially get arrested for public intoxication.
There you go.
So, but go ahead.
I was going to say, so he gets arrested for aiding to the delinquency of a minor.
I don't think that was a thing back in the early 80s, man. I really don't. It is now. Like, I mean,
sure,
like,
yeah.
You go into the liquor store drunk, you spend more than you want to do.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But I do think what it is I think it is a point to keep people coming in, because like Tarek uses it as and a lot of stores do this, uses it as as one of the measurements that you're part of the community, and therefore when allocated products come in, we're going to put you on the list to be notified. Like I know DJ gets notified all the time about places there in Mount Juliet, and it's because he buys a lot of the store picks and stuff of that nature, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
And I go there, and I've said this before, I treat everybody really well, and I'm very thankful and ingratiating and stuff like that. And when they do have an allocated dump or they do have a special, release or whatever, sure, I get the call because everybody knows me, and I think it's a good thing. But I don't buy everything that they've offered up either. Like they got an Eagle Rare sitting right now that I got an email from it yesterday or the day before and said, we got a bottle sitting there, for you, and it's their store pick Eagle Rare. And, I'll get there when I get there.
So, I don't think any of us tonight are from states that are state controlled. However, Rob is.
Yeah.
We're state controlled.
Are you guys state controlled? So is it different for that? That's what her question is.
Yeah. But there are some stores that do get their store picks, and it's kind of weird. We're not like Pennsylvania is, where Rob's at, where everything's locked down by the state, but it is controlled by the state.
Gotcha.
Here in Tennessee, it's a free for all, man, and it's capitalism at its
freaking
finest.
heaven down there,
Yeah.
man.
It's not. See,
Which is
there's
why
a
you go
good
rare
and bad
across the
with
river.
it. There's a good and bad with it because, like, right now, you can't find an Eagle Rare without having to buy a Wheatley's.
Who's that? Who's that commenting? What was him?
Who's that
Who
guy?
is that? Yeah, who is that?
Triple H, I think. Is that
Triple
Triple
H.
H. There we go.
Look at that hair. Yeah.
So the game.
There.
The game.
The game, yeah.
The problem with the bourbon market is too much lower age stated 4 to 5 year bourbon available, and also too much market or people wanting in.
True.
Yeah, those are both very true statements.
And how do you stand out?
Thank
to
you
the
for
crowd?
joining us in the comments there, Mr. Godfather, sir. And David says Wendy and I are in Pennsylvania. Yeah, as is Rob, as was I last Friday.
So did I just make a connection that Wendy and David are the two that are together, or is it somebody else?
Yeah, no.
Maybe, probably.
I don't know.
You need to keep up with this shit, dude.
Well, I sometimes miss shows.
Warning, bullshit alert.
No, you're right, because it's not sometimes.
Dude, I wasn't talking.
I had to get one in. You're like, why even come on? To take our abuse, Jody. That's why, because you give out plenty yourself.
Well, it's because I find it
He
funny.
gives as well as he takes. It's
So
all
Wendy and David live together. That's
Okay, see, that makes much more sense.
cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
No.
See? Yes.
Matter of
they
fact,
do.
she was doing all the picks from the Grand Canyon.
Wendy is David's sweetheart.
Okay, well, I didn't make the correlation or the connection.
He's
till
your
just
friend.
Now.
I thought you knew him.
I know he's my friend, but it's not like he sends me a message that, "Hey, look, Wendy and I, we're
So,
together."
like, have
now.
you
I'm
been
like,
on their Facebook page? Look, they're commenting from
Yeah,
dude,
Facebook.
I don't look at anybody's
This is
Facebook
me
page.
just laying into you. Like, I'll leave it alone.
I look at my Facebook page. I make pictures of food. I look at Gino's Facebook page and look at pictures of food. And then I seen Miles' picture of empty shelf. So I was like, I gotta know what the hell that means,
Pork rinds or something.
Yes. I'm glad you showed up and
and
explained that picture
I
today,
couldn't
because
tell you
that
the
was
last time
great.
he posted, but when he posted that thing about where he was on Channel 5, I was like, I'm going to watch that. So I watched the whole hour of it.
I didn't watch the whole hour, DJ. I'm sorry about that, bud.
Damn. David.
I thought we were too. Apparently, I'm
I
sorry.
thought we were tight. See, look at that. You hurt his feelings. You have to make
I
that
probably did. It's probably the last time that
Yeah.
the nice Dave will be on. Will be
You know,
on the show.
we got
The
more,
nice
we're
Dave.
up to what, 5 viewers tonight? You just killed 2 of them. Dude.
We've actually done better than that tonight.
Well, I was just
pretty
curious about the empty shelves with nothing but pork rinds on it. Was that the allocated pork rinds? That or was it
Yes.
something different?
Yes.
Is that we made it almost 40 minutes, and now we're just.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I
I've
I
never
can't
been
be
to
asked.
England. What do I know?
I can't be asked to answer the question, so just yes.
I like how he sits all snooty. It must be an English thing.
Because I can.
No, that but it's almost 2:00 in the morning over there in England. So
It is.
right, isn't it almost 2:00?
It's 1:54 a.m.
Yeah,
You're approaching. Yep.
that's wild.
Past my bedtime.
He's
By the
the real
way-
diehard of any of us. Come
By the
down.
Oh,
way,
yeah,
now,
that's
hang on,
That's
hang
exactly
on for
right.
the after
What's
show.
funny
I've got
is-
something to say to you in the after show.
Jennifer asked a good question. Are you guys going to change the day and time for your show? We talked about this kind of a little bit right at the beginning.
We will make an announcement.
We'll make an
looking
announcement
forward
right now.
to
I
it.
think we're kind of strongly entertaining a Monday evening.
Monday, question mark, because that seems like a reasonable time to do
But
it.
nothing's set in stone yet. We got to kind of talk with the rest of our our peeps and figure out what's going to work the best for everybody.
Well, and you could talk about the tomfoolery over the weekend. Perfect time on Monday night, right?
Yeah, and after Monday back at work, like everyone's usually ready for a pint or something stronger.
The only bad thing about that is
that still fucks me though.
I know, because every time he's reached out to, he's like, "Hey, can we do something like on Sunday morning, like at 8:00 Yelt's time?" I'm like, I don't feel like I want to drink at the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is a little early to get started.
No problem, dude.
What a fucking shame.
He said,
Uh-oh, that was real
because
quick.
it's Monday nights. Chuck says stores and pick groups also tend to dip their picks in wax and affix stickers with current event topics on them. Doing so can generate max profits. That's a common slogan of our Godfather. It's the puffery, the wax, and you can put something about some political figure. We're not getting into it that you don't like very much, and then you can suddenly charge another $150 for this bottle.
Yeah,
and
the wax.
People are cleaning up doing it. You can say it's gross or whatever, but like if you're them, what's going to motivate you to act otherwise? Honestly, what's your incentive?
I don't mind the little tag hanging on the bottle saying, "Oh, this won a gold medal in the whatever."
Yeah, that's fine. I got a 90.
You can really take that stuff off, but that wax is, my God, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, no.
And then Jennifer said, Jennifer says, "I have to watch you guys while at work if you do it on Monday evenings." Oh, you work Monday nights? That's rough.
Oh, just another excuse not to be on the show, right, Jennifer?
I mean, that might be when she's at the strip club. Might be the highest tips night.
Yeah. No, shame on you.
Well, we're going to assume she's in management there. All right. Because we're not going to.
I'm just playing. Anyway, guys, So let's just say this. So hold on a second. So let's just say this. So if you're not a fan of the VIP, please become.
Yes.
Well, we'll play differently. You want to be. That's where all the shenanigans happen.
Because this only gets worse, guys.
Yes,
and you want to be there.
That's one. So let me tell you how to get there. You have to reach out to somebody other than me because I frankly don't care.
And me because I'm not on Facebook.
But everybody else will add you. That's one. And there's only a
I'll add you. No fucking problem at all.
Contact Mal. He's on it.
Fucking have one of them. Have one of them in your
comment. He'll let anybody in. Just watch.
John, send him a message right now. Anyhow.
Apart from that one.
He's sending something.
I swear to God, you guys, I hate you guys. Anyhow, where was I going? Oh, yeah, the other thing.
I have no idea.
You guys, you know what? Y'all could like, subscribe. I don't know.
But reach out to one of us.
Hey, we love it when people like and subscribe. We love it when you tell your friends that we come on here and drink and talk shit to each other. That's really what we're here to do.
And
so
don't
if you
be
like
bashful.
that, there's going to be more of it.
That's what it's all about.
I mean, join the conversation like these people have tonight, and join us online. Join us on air.
Yeah.
That's how everybody here, except for Mao and myself, all got on here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
4 messages sent, not 5.
Okay. He probably sent them all 4 to me.
And if you're afraid about being on camera because you have a great face for radio, everybody here has a great face for radio.
Yeah.
Right, so you're in good company.
Anyway, that being said, guys, love all y'all. Peace out. It's been fun. It's been real, or it's not been. I don't really know.
Have a damn good weekend.
Yes.
And
fuck you, Tony.
Be good to yourself.
Be good to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Oh, and Billy, we hope you feel better, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.